Hello everyone, welcome back to the United Star. Today we have Karn back at the channel and we have Abhishek as well. Both of them again from MUSC, Manchester United Supporters Club, the official supporters club of Mumbai and the first of its kind in India. And we are here to preview the Norwich game in the FA Cup. If y'all have forgotten in all this crazy lockdown period, we played Wolves in our first FA Cup game, beat them. Then we went to Tranmere and obviously walked through them. And then we played Wayne Rooney's Derby County. It was nice to play against Rooney once again. He had a couple of good moments, but we basically annihilated them, and Odi Nagalo showed why he deserves to stay at the club. So, Abhishek, let me come to you first. What do you think of a long cup run, and how will we manage it with so many games to come?
First up, it's so nice to have the FA Cup back. Who thought we'd ever be saying that? There's always talk about the FA Cup having lost its magic and it not being the same like it used to be. But as a United fan, and given where we are, we're not challenging for too much, and everything counts now. Every single match that we play counts, and it's so exciting. Talking about the run in, as it were, and the number of games that we'll have, I think the boys will be up for it. It's been a 3 month sabbatical in that sense, and we've got a fully fit squad, so I don't think there should be any complaints, and we've got the squad to compete. I think we should definitely be gunning for the FA Cup, and there's no reason Ole should not be fighting for top four, not be fighting for the FA Cup, and not be competing for the Europa. I think our season's only just begun. That's the way I'm looking at these fixtures.
Right. Kan, what do you think, since we've shown some good form in the cup with almost a second string team? So what do you think going from here on? Would you yet consider play the second string team only, or do you think Ole should put on the first team, and as Abhishek said, we can go all out for the FA Cup?
I think the best part about, as Abhi said, our fitness now is that what used to be our first string team a few weeks ago is now our second string team. So a second string team is really not that bad. If you see in the Sheffield game, we had 5 subs come on. McTominay, Igalo, Dan James, Juan Mata, these guys were starting games for us. So I honestly think the FA Cup gives us the chance to do squad rotation and get some key minutes in. I think we're still going to go for the game. I think we should try and play our strongest squad. But the good part now is that even our strongest squad can be split. Maybe play either Bruno or Pogba, one of them in the FA Cup and not both, and still it's a fantastic team. So I think we should go for it. We should play our strongest team. Having said that, I think the second string of our team currently is also strong. Give everyone the minutes and definitely go for wins, not go for it as playing the second string team.
Right. But now that you've mentioned the team, why don't you go ahead and name your 11 straight away?
I think it's going to be a very tricky one because I think there's going to be. I'm going to say Romero starts, for example. Give Dea a break.
Does they need a break?
Brandon Williams on the left, I think should get a start. Maguire probably with Bailly in the center because Maguire's just played every game, even when others have been rotated. I think Aaron Van Bissaka should still be at right back. I don't think we should tinker with this team too much. McTominay in the middle since he got some rest. I honestly think still start with Bruno and Pogba. Why not? If you have to get them off at halftime. Start with them still. Dan James is fresh. Igalo should start, and maybe Rashford.
Right. Vishesh, do you agree with that? Starting Pogba and Bruno both, Diego Dallo maybe over Van Bissaka. What are your views on it? What would be your ideal 11 here?
Personally, I would start Fred for this game with Bruno. Go back to the 3 before Pogba got in. So my 11 would be Romero in goal. Eric Bailly would come in for Lindelof because I think we need that rotation and we can see how that partnership works out. With Maguire, definitely Williams gets a game. He deserves it. I think he's going to be there for the cup run. And I would go with Dallo because he's an attacking player and I think Norwich are weak when it comes to defense. So we should utilize whatever we can with McTominay, Fred, Bruno. And I would go with Dan James on the right, Igalo up front, and Rashford on the left. I think Rashford needs some confidence more than anything. We saw those 2 missed chances against Sheffield. So maybe a goal or 2 would help him go ahead. I wouldn't be surprised to see Greenwood start as well, to be honest.
Right. Abhishek, you've heard both their teams. What is your take on the 11? How would you do it differently from them, or do you agree with one more than the other?
One thing that I'll definitely bring up, which I think a lot of United fans should take into account, and I hope Ollie takes this into account as well, is that Norwich are going to be up for it. They're more or less relegated. This is a home game. It's a cup run. We know the magic of the cup. Anything is possible, especially the FA Cup. And they're going to be up for this. This could be like their last hurrah for this season, until they go back to the championship. So I wouldn't actually tinker too much. I understand that, a few players need to be rested, but I wouldn't tinker too much with the squad. In fact, I'd actually take this game as an opportunity to play Pogba more. I'd probably give 90 minutes to Pogba. Bruno hasn't gotten a break. I'd rest Bruno for this game. And I'd actually let Pogba get the full 90 minutes, get his confidence back, get him in slightly trickier conditions, playing away from home. And, he had an easy sort of let in the previous game. I didn't think he was that great against Sheffield, given the expectations and the way that he performed against Tottenham. I think broadly I'd agree with the two of them. I think definitely Sergio Romero will start. Diego Dalot deserves a start ahead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I think he needs a break as well. Brandon Williams on the left. I'd love to see that as a United fan because boy, has that boy been a find this season. Where I love how we just pick up these kids from the academy and throw them in. You don't see it at any other club but Man United. But yeah, I think fundamentally my biggest change probably would be that I'd like to see Pogba get 90 minutes and maybe give Bruno a break heading into this game.
Right. I think that's a very valid point. But more than anything, I think what you mentioned about Norwich, not being in a great run of form. Karan, how do you see this game as to like building up and coming into the game? How do you think Norwich's form is going to be? They're going to go all out, but do they have the capacity really to challenge us?
Yes, they're going to go all out. This is the only thing they have left to play for this season, but they just don't have the firepower. They're the second lowest goal scoring team in the 4 leagues. The only team that's below them is Stevenage, who are the bottom of the football league. So that's how lacking they are in attack. I think they've had the last goal they scored was the last FA Cup game. They haven't scored a goal since. They've had 2 shots on target in the last 3. It's just bad news all around for Norwich. Yes, they'll be up for it. I'm not saying that that's going to be how they play. As Abhi said, this is magic of the cup. On the day they might show up a bit more. But I don't think they have that much in them just looking at, all of these things. I think it's going to be a bit too much for them.
Unless Phil Jones starts for us.
I think Phil Jones and Tuanzebe are injured. So.
Tuanzebe are injured. Yeah, I think
so. Yeah, they're out. Right.
So we're out of any danger in that space. Yeah. But Abhishek, I'd like to bring you in on United's form. So we've already mentioned that coming back, like Sheffield's game was pretty good. Spurs, we were a little low off the bat. And we know in the cup, you really need to be on the sort of button straight away from the first whistle. So what do you think? What are you expecting from United? And what sort of intensity do you think we'll bring to the game?
I think a lot of United fans are disappointed with the Spurs result, myself included. But looking back, it's been some time now, and when I reflect, it was actually a very good result. We underestimated the Spurs side. You had Harry Kane coming back. You had Heung-min Son. They're a strong unit, and I think to come away 1-1 from that result. Think of it this way: the way we started the season, right? If you think back to August, September, we would have taken the 1-1 at White Hart at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I think looking back, it wasn't the worst result. But having said that, I think we are in scintillating form right now. I mean, when Martial scores hat-tricks, it happens once in a blue moon when Martial scores in the first place, and it's great to see him on 18, 19 odd goals this season, all cups included. We're in scintillating form. I'm not going to doubt Ollie's men at all. We look fresh. I think that's the best part about the squad. We look like we're back in August. The boys have had a good preseason. Everyone's fit. So I wouldn't worry about form. And luckily for us, it's an easy side. I mean, no disrespect to Norwich, but come on. We have to win this and we have to progress.
Right. Vishesh, coming to you, which United player are you looking out to the most? Like, who do you think is going to really do well in the game, or who do you really want to see?
Personally, I would want to see Ighalo do well. I mean, he's a true fan and he represents all of us. And when that loan got extended, I was like on cloud 9. So personally, I would like Ighalo to increase his goal tally for United. So he's someone I'd look out for. Plus, I want to see how the Bailly and Maguire partnership works out. That's something a lot of people are talking about, that Lindelof is not as great as Bailly. So I would like to see how that partnership works out. Right. And probably adding to United's form, I mean, we scored 33 and conceded just 3 in the last 12 games. And if Norwich aren't scoring, how Karn said, so I mean, we shouldn't be worried about the squad at all.
Right. And De Gea is not going to be there to make a mistake, so that's also not going to be in danger. Well, I'm a big fan of De Gea. Just had to say that. Abhishek, what's the prediction for score?
I think it's going to be simple. I think we'll take it 3-0. And just to add to that previous point, I'm also looking forward to Rashford having a good game. This is the kind of game where he could pick up some confidence, maybe get a few goals. Even a goal in this game would just really do wonders for the man. It's been good, but he needs that goal. So 3-0 for me. Comfortable 3-0 for me.
Yeah, yeah. Karan, would you agree 3-0 or maybe 5-0?
Yeah, I'm going to split the difference and go with 4-0 just to make it interesting. But I honestly don't see a reason why this should be complicated for us. I hope we don't approach. I hope Ole and the boys don't approach it like that. As fans, it's fine. I hope the team looks at it a lot more scared. But I don't see why this should be a problem. 4-0.
Yeah, I don't think we should get complacent. I don't think there's any room for that since, like Abhishek said right off the bat, this is the only thing that we can actually win this year now. So Vishesh, your scoreline?
I'm going to go for a 2-0.
This
Okay,
and saying
What?
we can also win the Europa. I'm hoping we win the Europa
yeah.
more than the F.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I'm going for a 2-0, slightly on the safer side.
Okay, I personally think Norwich will get a goal. I think it'll be a 5-1 kind of a game. But I think we will win. I think we will coast home. And I don't think that there is any difficulty in this game because, as we've said, Norwich's form is horrible. Our form going in is pretty good. Even though there was a huge break in between and we don't know, there's no way to link the two ends of the season anymore. But looking at the team, it's in hot form. And the substitutions, the bench we have right now is incredible. We don't have to rely on Lingard and Pereira coming on and changing the game anymore. So I think it's a great opportunity. And one thing I'd just like to say in the team, I'd like to say Juan Mata play a little bit. I really like watching Mata play, the positions he picks, the passes he plays. So hopefully he also gets a run. But all in all, I think we all agree it's going to be a one-sided game to United. Hopefully that transpires on the pitch as well. And hopefully we get an easy draw for the next round. So thank you, Karn. Thank you, Abhishek, for joining us. And thank you, MUSC, for all the wonderful work you all do. And we will see you all next time with another video. Thank you, Vishesh.
Thanks, Boshan.
Thanks for
Thanks,
having us.
guys. Thank you so much.